You guys had one job. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know this beat, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island Season 10, Episode 11, really is Episode 12 where you don't count in the scene bit. And let's just get right into the video because you guys had one job. You had one job. Like, I'm just going to skip all the way to the end of the episode because you had to vote. You had one job. Like, I can't believe it. We voted for our favorite guy and for our favorite girl. And why are you telling me both Catherine and Andre are in the bottom three? What? Like, when we get to the votes, like, what? They read out that the bottom three guys, bottom three girls. Catherine first read out Zach. And, I was feeling like, oh my gosh, justice for Catherine because Zach treated her bad. And, I was like, okay, she got her look back because they made her read out Zach's name. Next thing you know, the second guy to be in the bottom three was Andre. And I'm like, you couldn't even enjoy it because now Andre's in the bottom three. And then the next guy was Sammy. So Zach, Andre, and Sammy are in the bottom three. Next thing you know, bottom three girls. We had, obviously, the newbies, Charlotte and Leah. They got in the bottom three. That was basically easiest decision. But tell me why the next name I heard was Catherine. Over Molly? They're not being over Molly? You voted for Molly over Catherine and Catherine became in the bottom three. How? I'm so confused because I'm just like, how is Catherine in the bottom three? You had one job. Like, I'm so upset. So now, before, they used to do whoever had the lowest votes go home. But now it's up to the Islanders. The guys pick the girl to stay and the girls pick the guy to stay. And before we even get to the deliberation, like, you have both Jess's man and Molly's man, Zach and Sammy, in the bottom three. And you have them trying to deliberate which guy to send home out of the three guys, standing up there. You don't think both Jess and Molly are going to advocate for Zach and Sammy? And the thing is that Ella and Whitney were there. And I think Whitney was the only one advocating for the connection between Andre and Catherine. She was the only one basically saying, like, yo, they got, they have something good going on. It was quite obvious that we did see it, but a little bit, we know that they had chats, we know how they have conversation. I've been saying since the last episode, we need to see more footage of Catherine and Andre. Like, we see them going off to have their conversations, walking together, all that. But we don't see the footage on screen. It's like they're invisible. The only screen time we got today was when, we'll get to that later, was not Catherine and Andre. And I'm like, they've been in a couple. After the recoupling and they've been in a couple, we should have saw them together as a couple, even have a one-on-one shot to see where they're going, to see how she's feeling, after being back in a couple with him or stuff like that. The fact that we didn't see that at all, not really one time, except for the challenge that they had to show people, is quite crazy. Anyway, I'm just like, Whitney was the only one advocating for Andre and Catherine's relationship, while we both know Jess still has something with Zach, and not Jess still has something with Sammy, even though Sammy's still looking at his options with Leah, and then, Molly still has her connection with Zach, so you think she's gonna give that up? I mean, granted, she's in a couple of Mitch, but she obviously, her focus is Zach. So, and then I'm not sure if Ella really advocated for the Andre and Catherine relationship, but everybody know that they should know that, they were having a good connection. Anyway, as you know from what I've been saying, they decided not to keep Andre. They had Molly give the deliberation that Andre's getting sent home, which is quite mad.
Andre.
Like, it's quite mad because really this whole stems back to Zachary. This is all Zachary's fault. But then it's quite mad, wicked that you have Molly, the person who took Zach from Catherine. Let's keep it a buck. Ruin the whole situation. Took one man from Catherine and then send the other one home. And it does stem from Zachary, because if Zachary never stole Catherine from Andre, we could have had them as a solid day one couple, still getting to know each other, whatever. It wouldn't have Zachary inconveniencing that relationship. We didn't even see when they finally got back together in a couple, they're having a one-on-one chat at all. We never saw that. Wild. Anyway, they sent home Andre, which is really the biggest shock. The guys, they were talking, and basically it's between Leah, Catherine, and Charlotte. And Charlotte has basically the least connection with anybody here. Because obviously Zach doesn't really like her. None of the other guys really like her like that, and they kind of know, obviously, since Tyreek and Andre, are boys. That's a big hit because, I think Andre was a day one person. So it's kind of weird that they kept bombshells over a OG, which is kind of weird. Like the first, vote that you had the decision to who to keep and who to not keep. You decide to send home your OG bombshell, your OG person. You should have sent home a bombshell. But granted, since Sammy is the only connection for Jess, she kept him. And then Zach, who I guess Molly is with, quote unquote, they kept him over Andre. Like, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Obviously, they sent home Charlotte.
So the girl we have decided to dump from the island is... Charlotte.
And, even though I said the results backwards, it's just like Andre leaving is quite mad. And this is production's fault. They never showed Andre and Catherine on screen at all. We see them there, but we don't actually get to have them a conversation, which is weird. Anyway, this whole episode really just shook everything up. We see Scott comes in, with Jess. He enters the villa, and then the first thing he does is pull Catherine for a chat.
Your friend, are you?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good.
So, who's it? You're with Andre at the moment?
Yeah, I'm with Andre at the moment.
So would you say you're closed off with it? Or?
No, I'm not closed off.
No.
You must know who you want to speak to.
Yes, no, well.
Okay.
I'm here, aren't I?
We have a good chat, she's laughing, they're talking about Dublin, they're both from Ireland, things like that. And it seemed like it was a good chat. And then he talks to Leah, and, he said he basically going to talk to everybody else. Tyreek and Ella are back to being good, everything's going good for them. Then we see Mitch, have a conversation with Jess, basically saying that he's open to getting to know Jess. Then he goes back, tells the guys that, he's open to getting to know Jess. And Sam was like, what? It's kind of weird that you're doing this right now. Like, if you really like Jess, you should have said that some before. But, he felt a little slighted by that. So then Sammy and Jess have a chat, and she basically say that the same thing. And I guess she says she's confused too about the whole situation. But before then, she was talking to the girls, and the girls are like, you and Mitchell have a good, good chat, good banter. You don't know where that could lead to, so you don't cut it off so quickly. But it seems like Jess and Sam, really likes Sammy more than she likes Mitchell. She just sees Mitchell as a friend, so can't really blame her. Anyway, they all go to bed. We see Tyreek, giving Ella a kiss goodnight. Could divide us. How do I? All that jazz, really. We see Maddie and Whitney cuddling, and we see Andre and Catherine cuddling. And the thing about it is that cuddle was really like, oh snap, because we just heard a couple episodes back that she told the girls that she doesn't really cuddle at night. So the fact that we see Andre and Catherine cuddling at night was just like, oh snap, they're really getting closer, because that really shows, they're progressing their relationship, but we don't see it on screen, which is like, what are they doing? Anyway, Tyreek is saying that he's going to make Ella breakfast, try to close the door because he hears Scott trying to talk to each and every one of the girls. So he makes Ella breakfast. We also see that both Andre and Catherine have breakfast together, and we see the shot of them standing next to Tyreek and Ella, but we don't even hear their conversation, which is like, what's going on? After breakfast, Scott pulls Catherine again for a chat 2 times, and they have a chat, whatever. He's asking her if she's fun, about her personality, things of that nature, and she's kind of laughing a bit, and it was another good chat. Anyway, he talks to Ella and whatnot, I think, as well, and then he talks to Molly as well. I think he made a sly joke how Molly always likes matching bathing suits and things like that. And he said, I think before when he was talking to the guys, he was like, he wants to see what all the fuss is about with Molly. So it was quite funny. Like, I guess he's updated on what's going on in the villa, kind of. With that being said, it's time for nighttime. And, oh yeah, he also pulls Whitney for a chat, and it was a good chat. Now the nighttime, they're all getting ready. And then in nighttime, 3 times now, we see Scott pulls Catherine for another chat, and he's basically asking like where her head is at and if her head was turned. So Catherine was like, no, my head's not turned. Like, I was intrigued that you come here and that you have good chats, because obviously we can tell that she is more, progressed with Andre, so she's not going to just suddenly say, oh, she likes you more than she likes Andre after one day of you being here. Like, she's not going to work like that, especially since her and Andre been in a couple for at least a week or, at least 5 days, sharing the same bed again. So, he was trying to get an answer out of Catherine. And Catherine's just like, we have good chats, Like, she wasn't trying to give all that information up just one night, even if she did like him. So the next thing we see is that they get a text that all Islanders need to be at the thing, and there was the vote. And I'm just like, I'm still upset, even though I told you the whole thing in the beginning of this video. I'm still upset with Catherine and Andre both being at the bottom 3. And that's basically the result of production not showing Catherine and Andre together as a couple. This is Love Island. You need to show them together in the couple. Like, we see Catherine sometimes, but we barely even see Andre. Like, where is Andre speaking moments? Has Andre even said a full sentence? Has he even said the full sentence? We didn't even have Andre's take on how he feels about Catherine being pulled 3 times by Scott in a matter of 24 hours. Have not heard a peep. I'm just like, was there even a conversation? Like, what's going on here? We didn't hear not one peep from this man or him talking to Catherine, like trying to see, where her head is at or if they're still on good terms or stuff like that. Not one peep. But then this guy gets sent home. Like, what's going on? No footage, nothing. Like, that's messed up. It's really messed up. And it's like, you leave it in the hands of the girls whose guys are, it was both Jess and Molly have both of their guys at the bottom. And I'm just like, who was voting for Maddie? Maddie really disrespected Whitney yesterday. Basically had like some notion that she's a person who gets into drama, and he didn't want to be around drama, and he tried to scold her about the situation. And then the apology that he gave, Whitney had to drag it out of him, or well, Jess had to first tell him, you need to apologize to her, and then Whitney had to be like, what are you saying sorry for? So I'm just kind of confused how you voted for Maddie after yesterday's episode of how you treated Whitney, and for what? Like, Andre did not have to be in the bottom. You know what I'm saying? For what? Mitchell, the guy who's weird, he literally tried to pull Molly back in after he put his foot down the previous episode and said that he doesn't want to talk to her, he's done with her, he's over for her, it's just a friendship thing. And then he talking about Operation Get Molly Back, and then Molly had to shut him down. The entire village had to be like, are you okay? Do you understand that she don't like you? And then you still voted for this guy? Like, what? This is mad. This is mad. So both Mitchell and Maddie got votes over Andre. It's crazy. Like, Mitchell and Maddie got votes over Andre. Does not make sense to me at all. Like, you guys had one job. Like, and the producers need to do better. And the thing is that I heard back in Love Island France, I don't know if anybody be up to date on that, but they brought back Cindy when she got sent home. And I was like, maybe they could bring back Andre. But the thing is that they weren't giving him any screen time. So therefore, people are going to be like, why did you bring him back for? He's quote unquote boring. They're calling Catherine boring. For what? She's not even on the screen long enough for you to even call her boring. And the thing is, she has chats. She is getting along with people. You saw her 3 chats with Scott, and she was having banter. She was having very lively chats. So she has chats. She's good TV or whatever. So I'm like, it's because they're not putting her on the screen. And you can't really blame her and call her boring because she's not being put on the screen. It's the producer's fault. They made it Molly Island. They finally slacked off of that. Now they're on Jess and the whole Jess Sammy situation. And it's just like, Jess is going to get hurt because Sammy doesn't really like her like that. He's obviously going to probably still ride the Jess wave because now Jess wasn't in bottom 3. So he's probably going to, if he, is a game player, he will probably stick with Jess because Jess is like still good with the public. And, that situation, because he sees Jess not in the bottom 3, but Leah is. I don't know about Scott, because the only connection that he set up besides Catherine was Charlotte. He was like, oh, he had good chats with Charlotte, and that was it. That was his only take on the situation when he was, like, deliberating. So, we see in the preview for Sunday night's episode that, he's, like, telling UVC, like, Catherine crying when Andre goes. She's like saying like maybe Slow and Steady doesn't win the race.
Sunday night.
Slow and Steady doesn't win the race. I don't know.
And
all I was thinking about stood there was you.
Thanks.
It's quite sad because people are calling Catherine a milk lady, and for what? The guy wanted to talk to her. That was his first person that he talked to as soon as he got into the villa. Is she not supposed to say no? But she did say that she was not closed off, and it's early days. Why is she gonna say, yeah, she's closed off of Andre? For what? Why would she say that? It's only week 2, and she only got back into a couple with Andre 5 days ago. Like, let's get real. Let's be real. Like, granted, their connection is progressing, and it was. Now, Catherine has to start back from square one. She doesn't even have anybody else in the villa who, she can connect to. The only person that right now is Scott, and we don't even know if that's even something stable that we can look forward towards. The only person that we have is Scott. And we don't even know if he's going to make his move to anybody else. I mean, he can try to move to Leah, but that's only if Sammy is not moving to Leah. And Ella, no. Whitney, maybe, but I don't see it. I think, him having 3 chats with her in the span of 24 hours shows that was probably one of his top picks. But, I mean, if it's there, I just need them to be there until Casa or something. Like, granted, we don't know the connection, but like, leave Catherine alone. Show Catherine more on the screen, because this is where we go wrong. We go wrong. They think that Catherine's boring. She's not more entertaining, so let's keep her on the bottom. No, they're just not putting her on the screen purposely, and this is their fault. And the thing is, you can't say, oh, she's not having chats, because we see multiple times where people just have baseless chats. And I'm just like, even if Andre and Catherine have a chat, that's such a dumb chat, they should show it on the screen. Like, at least show how they're getting connected. Like, this is so messed up. Anyway, UK, do better. Do better, because this is messed up. We have Catherine going back to square one. And we're in week 3. Like, oh my gosh, this is messed up. And the funny thing is that now on After Sun, is going to be both Ruchi and Andre being there. And I do not want to hear Ruchi being like, oh, you shouldn't have, cut it off with me. No, because the guy didn't like you. The guy got his relationship cut short because of Zachary, because Zachariah, whatever. He got his relationship cut short because of him. He took Catherine away from him, and he always been on Catherine from day one. So when Ruchi coupled up with him, it was nice, because before they coupled up, she was a shoulder to cry on. They had like a nice friendship that turned into something else. And he was just like, nope, I still like Catherine. So it kind of sucks that, it had to be like that. But like I said, it all goes back to Zachariah's fault. He's the reason why this happened. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below when you do thoughts, comments, concerns, and you want to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.